Well, welcome back and thanks for watching. Praise God for His providence for all of His children. I pray that you are resting in His peace and comfort today. Today we're going to take a different look at stewardship. Usually when we talk about stewardship, we are talking about how we spend our money. But stewardship involves more than just money, as we shall see. Do you know someone who constantly seems to have emergencies or are always in a frantic rush to get things done? Many times this is caused by a failure to plan. As the old saying goes, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Failing to plan may be an indicator of something far worse, failure to pray. As stewards of everything God has given us, we should always pray for His direction, and this includes how we spend our time. Time, as much as, or even more so, our money and possessions, is a gift from God, and we will be held responsible for how we use it. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent certainly lead to profit, but anyone who is reckless certainly becomes poor." And this means we should certainly plan everything we do if we are to be good stewards, because we want to be profitable servants. Remember the parable of the talents, where the master gave one servant 5 talents and another 2 talents, and another 1 talent. When the master returned, he praised the 2 servants who made a profit with the talents they were given. But the 3rd servant, who buried the talent he had been given in the ground, was chastised, as recorded in Matthew 25:26 and 27. His master replied to him, "You evil, lazy servant. If you knew that I reap where I haven't sown and gather where I haven't scattered, then you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and I would have received my money back with interest when I returned." To get our time stewardship under control, we should start every day in prayer, and then spend more time in prayer throughout the day. Prayer is the instrument for planning. By spending more time in prayer, we will have better planning, and proper planning will eliminate most emergencies. And don't forget to pray over your plans once you have made them. The reason for planning our time is that we don't know how much time we have left to do God's will. As Psalm 90, verse 12 says, "Teach us to number our days carefully, so that we may develop wisdom in our hearts." Plus, we are commanded to use our time wisely in Ephesians 5:15 through 17. Pay careful attention, then, to how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise, making the most of the time, because the days are evil. So don't be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. We want to be wise stewards and make good use of everything that God has given us, and that includes our time. I like this verse because it says, "Don't be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is." And you can't know the Lord's will unless you're constantly in prayer about everything. Now, in doing all this, it is good to remember that while we may make plans, God may change those plans. In Proverbs 16:9 it says, "A person's heart plans his way, but the Lord determines his steps." James 4:13 through 14 is more forceful about this. "Come now, you who say, 'Today or tomorrow we will travel to such and such a city and spend a year there and do business and make a profit.' Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring, what your life will be. So make plans, yet remain flexible. Seek the will of God and do what you know God is calling you to do. Be a good steward of your time and everything else God has given you, and remain faithful to your calling, whatever that may be, mindful of the fact that God may change your calling. Above all else, be fruitful in what God has sent you to do. May God richly bless you as you seek His will and steward what He has given you. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.